Alexander, how do you feel? Heavyweight champion of the world.
I'm very feel.
What's that?
Heavyweight champions.
That says a lot. Can I rest my case? Can I rest my case? I'll rest my case.
What's going on, you guys? So Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk is going down in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Once again, Anthony Joshua bringing his opponents to Saudi Arabia for whatever reason. You know, he did it with Andy Ruiz back in 2019, and now he is doing it with Alexander Usyk in 2022. But the bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder, gives his pick on who will win this fight between Usyk and AJ, and he picks Usyk to win. Now, the bronze bomber, boxing fans is wondering when is he going to return or if he's going to return at all. Let me read something to you. It says, Deontay doesn't say why he's picking Usyk, but it's likely more or less the same reasons many boxing fans are going with him to do the job again. Usyk is the better skilled and has the superior conditioning. And that's true. Usyk is the more skilled guy, right? That's no question. And he's the better conditioned guy. Anthony Joshua tends to get fatigued in fights. He tends to slow down. He tends to get tired in fights. It says Joshua gets tired too quickly and seems to get flustered mentally when things aren't going his way. AJ tends to panic, goes into shock, and things fall apart. Facts, right? And this is something I've always been saying about Anthony Joshua for years. It seemed like he just kind of crumbles. It seemed like he's just not too strong mentally. For what Wilder lacked in the skill department, he made up for it mentally, right? He was a mentally strong guy. You would damn near have to kill the bronze bomber to beat him, right? You had to either knock him out or kill him, right? He's one of those type of dudes. Anthony Joshua, well, I'm not quite sure he's that type of guy, right? Then it says, when Joshua is met with stiff resistance, he loses his senses and starts fighting erratically, as if his brain has short-circuited during the heat of battle. It's fair to say that some fighters like Joshua aren't meant for war inside the ring. Wow. And y'all thought your boy Bushido was harsh, right? Well, nah, some of these guys that write these articles can be pretty harsh as well. But is he wrong here, right? If you're attacking the enemy, Joshua is the last one you want on point, leading the way in front of all the troops. He's better in the rear where he won't cause confusion. Oh, man. He said AJ don't belong on the front lines. He said AJ belongs way in the back so he won't cause any confusion. Oh, my goodness. Wow, what a kick in the nuts, right? Then this is what it says. I'm going with Usyk. This is what Wilder had to say, right? He says, I'm going with Usyk here, man. A lot of people are, said Deontay Wilder to ES News when asked for a prediction on Alexander Usyk versus Anthony Joshua rematch on August 20th. He says, it's boxing and the world will see. My pick is Usyk. I may come back, I may not. I'm having such a great time outside of the ring. You have to understand that I make more money outside of the ring than in it. So the bronze bomber said he's making a substantial amount of money outside of boxing rather than him being in the boxing. So, yeah, it's hard to say if the bronze bomber really is going to come back, right? I mean, let's be honest. Deontay Wilder, I know a lot of you guys don't like the bronze bomber, but your boy Bushido is big on the bronze bomber. Why? Because he brought that fire back to the heavyweight division. He's, in my opinion, one of the most exciting fighters in boxing. And he's definitely the most exciting heavyweight in boxing. Then he says, you can't blame Wilder for going with the safe pick and selecting Usyk to win the fight because Joshua seems too fragile mentally to win the rematch. It doesn't matter that Joshua has a new coach in Robert Garcia because he's still the same person that lost the first encounter with Usyk and was destroyed by Andy Ruiz in their first fight. So a lot of boxing fans, boxing writers, right, they looking at AJ like, is he what we once thought he was, right? And this is something I've been saying for years now. And I always liked AJ, but it was something about AJ. He just seemed a little too timid, right? He seemed a little too timid. I don't know. He be just sitting there looking all scared and shit. I mean, he's a warrior, right? He gets in the ring, he does his thing, but I don't know, right? I kind of question his heart to a degree. And I don't want to question no heavyweight fighter's heart because I know the big boys, man, it's a whole different ball game, but he be looking terrified, man. You know, and Andy Ruiz fight in 2019, he looked like he was shitting himself before he came outside in that ring and fighting. When he first came to America, he dropped the ball big time. He looked like he was shitting himself in the back. His dad was frantic, tripping and shit. I mean, it was a horrible, horrible showing for Anthony Joshua. And this tends to happen with this guy. You know, he ends up fighting these dudes, and smaller guys, right? He lost 2 guys that he actually lost to were shorter, smaller guys. So, yeah, who knows what's going on with AJ, and will Robert Garcia be able to help AJ? Is Robert Garcia the missing piece that he really been needing for all these years? It's hard to say. Robert Garcia, at one point, probably one of the best trainers in boxing. I'm not quite sure if he is today as of right now, but about a couple of years ago, he was. And it's hard to say if Robert Garcia, who never had a heavyweight champion or anything, could rebuild and give Anthony Joshua what he needs to go beat Alexander Usyk. I mean, Anthony Joshua has the size, the power, the strength, everything to beat Usyk, but I don't think he mentally could he beat Usyk. Could he do what he needs to do to win that fight? Robert Garcia seems like a trainer that is apt at revitalizing guys' careers, right? Adding something that a fighter may have lost or may be missing throughout their careers. And Robert Garcia is that guy that usually finds that. But could he do it for a heavyweight in Anthony Joshua? We're going to see, right? I think, in my opinion, this fight, and I said it in the first fight, don't try to box this dude. Don't sit there and try to box looking cute. It's not going to work. You got to go up in there and run his ass out that ring, bro. Use your size, punch him, hit him. Do what you got to do. Who cares if it looks pretty? Do what you got to do to get him up out of there. Because the longer that fight goes, the better his chances are at winning. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard to say if Robert Garcia is that missing piece. Only time will tell. But the Bronze Bomber picks Usyk to beat Joshua. And that might be the smart pick. That might be the safe pick. That might be the right pick. But nonetheless, man, the Bronze Bomber don't know if he's going to come back. I'm looking forward to seeing, me personally, I'm looking forward to seeing the Bronze Bomber become a 2-time heavyweight champion and then just close the chapter on a very great career, right? You know, he only lost to Tyson Fury. The only person that could beat him, the only person that did beat him is Tyson Fury. And that's it, man. You know, the Bronze Bomber, I'm looking forward to seeing him again. But if he decides not to come back to boxing, I'm with him as well. It's a tough game. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.